Good morning, and as always, thank you for watching us here at Palos Heights Community Channel 4. My name is Carol Steffen, and my guest today is Katie Schwarz from the Plows Council on Aging. We are just so delighted to have you here this morning, Katie. It's an amazing organization. This is, I think, our 7th interview talking with people from Plows. We could go on ad infinitum because they do their duties and obligations and work and everything they do for us goes on ad infinitum. They're a wonderful, wonderful organization. We've told you much about it, but rather than my talking you about it, let's have Katie talk us a little bit about it. Katie is the Senior Care Coordinator. Tell me what that is.
So I'm a care coordinator at Plows, and I'm labeled a senior because I've been there for 4 years, so I'm more established. But we do a lot. I go into home visits. I see people at hospitals, at nursing homes, and we just one-on-one assessments with the clients.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yes. Over the last 6 or so interviews, we've kind of overviewed what Plows does. Why don't you wrap it up for me? Tell me what Plows, what it stands for, PLOWS stands for, and what it is that they do. Overview.
Sure.
Okay.
So Plows Council on Aging is South Suburban Cook County's premier leader in linking older adults with resources and information. This year we're celebrating our 45th anniversary, so that's super exciting. We have grown substantially over the years. We actually provide comprehensive services to 16,000 clients in the area. Amazing. So we reach a lot of people. Our programs and our services are really critical to those adults who are 60 years of age and older. And a few of our programs actually serve adults who are 18 years of age who are at home with disabilities. And a lot of people
I really didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I probably did know it, but I had forgotten all about that. That's interesting.
Yeah, so I'm happy to be able to get the word out about that.
Yes, please do.
Plows, it's funny because every time I introduce myself, everybody's like, what's a plow?
Yeah, right.
Plows is an acronym, and it stands for the 20 communities that we serve. So we serve the towns within the townships of Palos, Lamont, Orland, and Worth.
Okay. That's a lot of townships.
We reach a lot of people.
It's a big, and I should say that Plows is located right here in Palos Heights. It's right across the street from us, as a matter of fact, at City Hall. And it's specifically, let me give you an address, it's 7808 West College Drive, and it's on the 5th floor,
yep. Right?
Okay. In Palos Heights, obviously. The number that you can reach Plows by is 708-361-0219, an amazing number to know. Through our conversation, we'll talk about your website. It's a very, very good website.
Yes, it is, and it has all the information that you need. It has the different programs that we serve. It gives you contact information, and of course, the best way to find out what you're eligible for is to call us always. Absolutely. One call does it all.
Okay. I have a question about you. I know your number is 361-0219, and I know your hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Did I read that correctly? How about if I need to reach you on the weekend or something? Is there a number to call, or is there another alternate plan?
There is not a number to call. There is a voicemail, so you could always leave a message if needed, but otherwise you just give us a call Monday at 9 o'clock.
Okay, that's it, and that's it. Okay, terrific. Okay, let's go on and tell me what you're talking about specifically today.
So today I'm going to talk about 2 of our programs. They're very important. We offer in-home services to older adults, and then our Choices for Care program. These 2 programs are very interlinked with each other, and they allow us to advocate and counsel older adults and inform them about benefits that they might be eligible for under certain state and federal laws.
Okay. And do you do this on the phone, or do you, if I'm curious to find out more about Plows, I might have a problem at home. Do I call? I got to call that number.
Yes.
And I'm going to talk to someone that's going to pick up the phone.
Absolutely.
And I present my problem verbally on the phone, and then the reception will give me a direction to whom to speak to next. Is that basically?
So what happens is once you call us, you'll be directed to our intake supervisor. She is wonderful. She will have that initial conversation with you. She knows what questions to ask. She'll familiarize herself with you and kind of your circumstances, what your concerns are, what your needs are, and then she will make a referral on the client's behalf to whatever program she thinks will best suit their needs.
Okay.
So typically after that, the client will be assigned to a care coordinator. So that's a caseworker like myself, and we will schedule a home visit to come out to the home. We'll sit down with the client and their family. We will complete a comprehensive assessment, which just allows us to familiarize ourselves with them, figure out what they're really looking for, educate them on services that they probably don't know are available, and that allows us to put services into place.
Okay, that's kind of overwhelming, isn't it?
Yes.
So if you're the representative and you're in the House and they have an elderly person, such as myself, I might add to this, and family support. You need someone else. You need another ear there and familiarize and teach or introduce yourself. Because if I don't know who Plows is, I'm kind of hesitant. I've not particularly heard about you.
Absolutely.
So how do you get yourself familiar with? I know how you get yourself familiar, but how do you get their loyalty? How do you get them to trust you on their initial
So what
visit?
I do is when I get a new client who's assigned, I will contact them and or their family, depending on what they want. Some older adults prefer that, call my daughter first.
Yes,
She kind of handles these things, or
yeah.
because they don't trust you.
Yeah.
I tell them what that they can expect once I'm in the home, or if we're going to meet at a nursing facility or at a hospital, so they know and they're prepared. I inform them of the different things that we'll talk about. I try to answer any initial questions that they might have and ease their concerns, and then I encourage them, maybe over the next couple of days before our home visit, if you think of anything, just jot it down, and I'd be happy to go over it with you while we're there.
Okay.
It's an open book. It is a ton of information, so it definitely can be overwhelming, but we're here to help.
Okay. Do you visit people in the hospital? Say I have my mother in the hospital and I'd like you to, I'm not sure what to do following her
Yes.
dismissal from the hospital.
So one of the programs is called our Choices for Care program, and that is where we go into the hospitals and we go into local nursing homes in the area. Sometimes we'll go to the house too for a Choices for Care program. The state of Illinois mandates that anybody that is in a hospital who's seeking admission to a nursing facility has to be seen by a care coordinator such as myself.
Really?
So we go into 3 hospitals in the area 7 days a week, so the weekends too. We go to Advocate Christ Medical Center in Oak Lawn, OSF Healthcare Little Company Mary in Evergreen Park, and we go to Palos Community Hospital in Palos Heights. So we get information from the hospital staff or the nursing home staff there, and we will come out to meet with the patient in their room and give them information about what services might be eligible for. Often people assume that when somebody goes to a hospital that they have to go to rehab after that. And sometimes it is necessary, everybody
Yes.
is different. But sometimes if they're aware of the services that are available in the community, they can go home and they can discharge to their home with their pet and their family and be in their own PJs
Right.
and be able to get services and remain safe in their home. So we definitely will come out to the hospital to inform people. We'll do an assessment there. We give them what their options are, so that way they have all of the tools and information to make that decision. Should I go home? Should I go to rehab? What should I do? Because you're overwhelmed. You don't feel good either. Your family's overwhelmed because a lot of
Right.
older adults have children who are still working and they might not be there to provide the care that they need during the day, and that's where we come in.
Okay. How about finding someone to come to the house? Are you active in that aspect of it also?
So that would be in our in-home services. So first thing to do is to call, right, and speak to our intakes supervisor. You'll be assigned to a care coordinator. We'll come out to the house. We'll get to know you a little bit better. It's just kind of like an interview, like a conversation, kind of like right
Okay.
now. And we identify what needs you have, and we figure out what services we can put in place for you. So some of those services include a homemaker to come out to the home, and that's a couple of times a week. It's supplemental care. They could assist with personal care, such as bathing and dressing. They can help with meal preparation, light housekeeping, laundry, errands. Then there's other services that are also offered. You could be eligible for the home delivered meal program. So that's a hot meal delivered to the front door Monday through Friday, which is a huge benefit for our older adults who might be homebound or not feeling well enough to cook or go shopping. You could also get the emergency home response system. So that's like that necklace or bracelet that you could wear that has the button on it. Something happens, you hit it, and emergency services would come to you, to your home directly. We also can get older adults into an adult day service. So that's where an older adult can go to an adult day facility. They could socialize with other older adults. They can get their medications and nutritious
Really?
meals. They could assist with personal care. It's really great. They have therapeutic and recreational activities scheduled. So that is ideal for an older adult who may not be able to stay home alone during the day.
Okay.
It also offers a little bit of respite to that caregiver who
Sure,
typically
absolutely.
does care for them.
And how about if I was the caretaker, am I responsible to getting them to that day spa or day place?
It depends.
Okay.
Usually the facilities offer some type of transportation, and we would be your advocate in trying to figure that out. If you were unable to get transportation from the adult day service provider, then it would fall on family or friends to arrange that. It doesn't necessarily have to be them, but it would have to be arranged. But we have tons of resources for that as well.
I'm trying to think of questions to ask you. You do so much. It's an
know.
amazing thing. And your reception by the family, are they open to you coming in and making suggestions? Because you're not pushing anything, you're just
Correct.
giving information type of thing.
Usually they are, because having a loved one who has a declining health or who you have concerns with being at home alone, are they eating? Can they grocery shop? Who's doing their laundry? If the family is not nearby in town or they do work, it's nice to know that there are services that could be put in place, and it's just a reassuring thing. Most family is open to it. I haven't encountered any family who really didn't want information on the services. Sometimes we do educate about the services, and the client will decide, you know what, I think I can handle it with my family, and that's okay. You can call us in the future. We are here when you need us, because we're here for you.
And how do you staff your own place? I mean, how do you find these people that are trained enough to go out to help your patients or your customers?
So one of the programs through Plows, we work with agencies that are contracted through the Illinois Department on Aging. So they do the staffing and the training of their
Oh, really?
own caseworkers, and we kind of work as a triangle together to try to get our client the services that they need. We work very closely with one another. Another program that's offered through Plows, we do staff the homemaker ourselves, and they're interviewed and vetted and trained through us, and they can go in and help, and then they let us know if they see a concern, oh, this client is not eating, I'm afraid they're not able to go grocery shopping, then we know, okay, maybe let's talk about them, about other services they might be eligible for.
Do you ever find some type of a personal conflict? You know, that they go perhaps. You try to get a woman to come in to see a woman. I mean, a female to come in to see a female, and male to come in to see a male. Are you able to do that?
Typically, they're all women, the home care
okay,
providers.
okay.
Occasionally, you will come across a gentleman who is a home care provider, but we haven't come with any issues and the gendering with that. People are pretty open to just getting the help. The only issue where that would come in would be the bathing aspect of it,
Yes,
because our home
sure,
care aides
sure.
can help with the
Showers
bathing
or whatever,
assistance. Yeah. So when it comes down to that and they do feel uncomfortable, we work with them to figure it out.
Okay. When they come in and they introduce themselves and meet the family, and then how long, are they there for the day? What would be the hours?
So that's based on our assessment.
Oh,
so
okay.
when the care coordinator goes out, they're going to do an assessment that determines what level of need the client has and what supports do they already have in the system. And that tries to give us an idea of where are the holes, what can we fill, where do you need a home care aide, where, are you going to need the emergency button, are you going to need home delivered meals.
okay.
So that's why we really go in and have that face-to-face with them and that interview. We see the home and we try to get services in place to help them.
Okay. So the initial interview is exceedingly important.
Yes.
Listen, do you try to match up personalities as much as you can?
We try to, but sometimes it doesn't always work out
Sure,
that way.
sure,
There's
no.
not that many issues. If there was an issue with a home care aide, the client could always request a different one. That's no problem if they felt uncomfortable, but it doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah. Are your placement people, are they able to drive? Are they insured to take these people?
Yes.
Can they do doctor's appointments and those type of things?
Yes. So it's not a lot of time throughout the week, and it's very individualized, so it really depends on that initial assessment, but they can assist with transportation. So they could go to the post office with you or for you. The client doesn't actually have to be with them
Okay.
if they had that level of trust. I mean, some of our clients have had the same home care aide for years, so now, a companionship develops.
Sure, of course.
They could go to the grocery store, they could go to doctor's appointments, bring me to dialysis, things like that.
They can. Okay. All right. And how about, let's talk about cost a little bit. Now, when is that set up? Is that after you do the initial evaluation? Tell me about the cost.
So it depends on the program.
Okay.
Again, it's very individualized, but some of the services are free and paid for by the state of Illinois, and some of the services are subsidized, and they're made up by a federal grant that kind of helps with the cost of that, because many people know, paying for private pay care from a regular agency can be pretty costly. And not everybody is able to manage that. But the best way to figure that out is to call and speak with our intake supervisor, because she will really figure out what tier you're in and be able to answer your questions and refer to the accurate program.
Let's get back on the funding. If I come in to talk to someone about my mother or someone that I'm concerned about, and like make arrangements to come in, do they come in every day, or is this something that's prearranged, or once a day, or once every week, or?
So usually that depends on the assessment, and we'll decide, do you need somebody to come in here to help support you 5 days a week? Do you need somebody maybe 3 days a week? Or some people only have somebody come in once a week because they just need maybe a little bit of laundry and some light housekeeping. So it's really individualized. It is supplemental, so of course we're not able to offer 24-hour care. I mean, I wish that we could, but it's just not in the funding right now. But if the services aren't enough, we can give all kinds of resources to the family to help try to fill that gap.
And those people that respond to your patient or your client, are they paid? Are they volunteered? Or how do you fund them?
They are paid through the agency that they are hired for and trained for. Yeah.
Okay. Do you advertise that from Plows? Do you look for people for your own staffing?
We do. I believe that they do interviews. I think they're pretty well staffed right now, so I don't think that's been an issue. Like most of our workers have been with us for a very long time. But as for the other agencies, they do all their own hiring and training.
Okay, because I know you have a nice volunteer grouping.
Oh, we would be lost without them. They do so much for us. It's incredible.
Tell me some of the things that the volunteers might do.
They come in and they help with phone calls, they help with newsletters. We have a volunteer that will come in and call the clients that are receiving the in-home services to see, how is it going? Do you have any concerns? Is it enough? Do you need more? What can we do for you? To really make sure that we're filling those needs. They help with all of our events and everything. They're really great. They help our clients apply for different benefits. I know my coworker Michelina was in here talking about advocacy, and they really help with the advocacy. We would be lost without them.
Well, you're an amazing grouping, and if you've not heard of Plows, they have a wonderful website. Tell me about your website.
Our website is great. It has all of the programs on it that we offer. It talks about a little snippet of what each program is and what it offers, and if you're interested, just give us a call and have that initial conversation with our intake supervisor. I promise you won't regret it. If anything, you'll just get tons of information and education, and we'll be able to help you in some way.
And if you're able, and you don't do the computer, you don't do the websites, bring somebody into your home. Or try to see the web. The website is so nice; it's self-explanatory for itself. It's really a plus for you. What else? I mean, this is such I'm overwhelmed. I have 15 pages of information, and I wasn't very sure, not involved with Plows for a long time until I got with Channel 4, and we did a couple of interviews years ago, and then I became aware of it, and I've made my friends aware of it. But your publicity is wonderful, but it's limited. I think I would love to see you more out. But you do go out. Do you have speakers that'll go out to clubs and organizations?
So we do the social media. We do flyers and things like that. We have care coordinators who will go when we go into the hospital, when we go into nursing facilities, when we go on home visits. We give them pamphlets of all the upcoming events, so they have the paper flyers. If anybody ever wanted more information and they don't have a computer at home, they could always call us. We'd be more than happy to mail out any information.
But you have events, don't you?
Yeah, so we have events coming up.
Okay.
We have this Navigating Elder Care and Legal Financial Issues, which I attended 2 years ago with my own mother. So I definitely recommend it. It's very educational. They have an attorney come in and they talk about legal concerns. So estate planning, wills, trusts, Medicare, Medicaid, property tax savings, things like that. And they hold it at the Oak Lawn Library. Okay. This year it is on Saturday, March 28th. It is free. All of our events are always free. We do ask that you register with us just so we get a head count and we know that you're coming. So just give us a call and let us know you're interested. We have it's a new program. It's called the Savvy Caregiver. It's a new training program for those informal caregivers who are caring for a loved one who may have Alzheimer's disease or other dementia-related diseases, where they can get together and get advice and get tips and talk about the important topics when you're caregiving. That will take place at the Plows office here in Palos Heights. Again, it's free. It's Plows.
And have you advertised that? Is that out?
So we're
that's
just
on your
starting that
website,
now,
I'm sure.
yeah, because
Okay,
it's coming
okay.
up in April. It starts
Okay.
Friday, April 17th. So same thing, it's free. You need to be registered, so just give us a call.
Okay.
Another one is our Grandparents Raising Grandchildren support group. It's about to start up again, which is so important because we have so many older adults in the community that are raising their grandchildren or other young relatives in their home. So this allows them to get together and lean on one another and share the joys and the challenges of what it's like to be caring for young kids again. And that's also at Plows. It is starting on Wednesday, March 4th. Just register, it's free, give us a call. And then I do want to mention we're having our annual luncheon this May. We have it every year. It's called the Community Champion Celebration Luncheon, and it's so important. That is where we get together, staff from Plows, volunteers from Plows, board members. We get together with people from the community. We meet at the Orland Chateau in Orland Park.
Nice.
We have lunch. There's a bar, and we celebrate and we honor all of the volunteers from the community. So not just from Plows, but from the libraries, the senior centers, the municipalities, those volunteers who dedicate so much of their time just to be able to help other people. And it's important to do that. They need to know how much we appreciate them.
And you need to have volunteers. Everybody, a good group needs volunteers, and they're becoming sparser and sparser and sparser, if there's such a word, because so many people are going back to work, and people have other things and traveling, and it's just so important. If you can get to the website, please do. If you can take advantage of any of these activities, the luncheons, or I'll tell you what, if you work with somebody that volunteers, or you're always kind of impressed with what they do outside of work or outside of their home, contributing in some fashion to our community, nominate them.
Absolutely. Give us a call,
absolutely. Give a
708-361-0219. Call and nominate them. We would be happy to honor them.
And tell me when that luncheon is again.
It is Thursday, May 7th at the Orland Chateau. That, because there's the food and the drink that will be provided, it is a $25 ticket admission, and you can get those from Plows.
Okay. And train, if I want, is it interesting in volunteering in for you at Plows? Would you train me in some fashion if
Absolutely.
if I wanted to man the phone, if I wanted to deliver lunches?
Yes, we're always happy to accept more volunteers. They are the backbone of our agency. You would just give us a call and say, "Hey, I'm available. I'm ready to help. Where do you need me?" And we'll put you to work.
Katie, you're amazing. Katie, you're amazing.
Thank you.
You are. Katie Schwartz is our guest from Plows organization this morning. This is number 7 interview, and we're going to continue because we want you to be so aware of what goes on here in the city with Plows. It's such an addition to our town, it's such an addition to the elderly. And then young people. You'd mentioned about 16-year-olds or whatever. If they're, but tell me why you do
Adults 18 years of age and older.
I'm sorry, 18.
Who have disabilities and that are still at home. We can help them as well.
Okay. There's nothing you guys can't do, is there?
We're great.
Katie, your
I want everyone to know. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so very much and coming to Channel 4. Please come back again.
I will.
Okay. And of course, you please come back again and enjoy watching Channel 4.